it really finished back in 2008. And we've been stuck with an aging population slowing global growth. Well, this is all about to decouple in ways that we don't understand. What does infinite growth of humans mean in GDP numbers? Who does it accrue to? What happens, right? I don't know. All I know is we've probably got about 5 years before things get really weird. And so I'm focused on this period more than anything about what it means for us. What do we need to do to navigate this whilst trying to also monitor these gigantic trends that are happening all at the same time?
In the near future, there will be a seismic shift, and the vast majority of people are not prepared for it. Raoul Pal, the chief executive officer of Real Vision and a former executive at Goldman Sachs, has communicated this message. According to Pal, the rapid development of artificial intelligence and robotics will spark an explosion of wealth, which will propel industries such as automation and biotechnology, as well as digital assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, into unprecedented increases in growth. It is important to note that this transition will not be a slow and gradual one. Rather, it will be a sudden and dramatic acceleration into what Pal refers to as the exponential age. It is possible that by the year 2030, the world will look entirely different, with artificial intelligence driving productivity to levels that we have never seen before. It is the contention of Pal that governments are already making preparations for the subsequent phase of the global monetary system, despite the fact that many people are anticipating an imminent financial collapse. He is of the opinion that the only viable solution to the problem of managing the ever-increasing global debt without plunging the world into economic chaos is to employ productivity that is powered by artificial intelligence. Pal, on the other hand, warns that those who do not adapt and position themselves now run the risk of falling behind as obsolete financial models continue to crumble. In this video, Raoul Pal explores the most significant wealth shift that we have ever experienced in our lifetimes. Stay tuned until the very end of the video. The most recent macro outlook from Pal is presented here.
So the exponential age is basically something I started writing about maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, where I started saying, listen, I think there's going to be this nexus of technologies that all hit adoption effect at the same time. And unlike normal kind of Metcalfe's law, which tends to be exponential, this is going to be Reed's law, which is an exponential squared, because of all of these things are building on top of each other. You know, the internet already exists. And what you're going to get is robotics, AI, a change in what we do with energy. We're going to see genetic sciences, space travel. All these things are all going to happen. And even I did not think that this was going to happen at the speed of which we're seeing it.
Wow.
So when we look at what's just happened in politics, the technologists in a coup have taken over the White House. So we have Elon Musk, David Sachs, everybody from Vivek to JD Vance to Mark Andreessen, and they're all part of this administration, either in the front door, through the back door, right? So we're about to hyper accelerate here. And what we're seeing with AI is, again, I did not believe this. Last year, beginning of the year, that when you measure IQ, which is not a perfect way of looking at it, but the IQ of the OpenAI model at the time was 90. It finished the year at 157.
Wow. There you go.
Okay, so we are now very high.
Yeah.
So if we are assuming we will double pretty much every year, by next year, it will be more intelligent than any human who's ever lived. Then after that, you're starting to get to more intelligent than all humans added together, which is where you start to get to with ASI.
Yeah.
So this is where we're starting to see, there's a model that got released by, and you probably haven't even seen it yet, called Deep Research, that was launched by OpenAI yesterday. It's a research agent. You put in a simple prompt like, write to me as if it's a Harvard PhD paper on the importance of the business cycle and how it plays into game theory. Something like a small prompt, it will do you a 10,000 word PhD with all of its references in 20 seconds. Okay, so
I want everyone to pause and just acknowledge that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're now headed into a world where knowledge is starting to become like water. It becomes free.
Yeah.
Because this, you talked about the other model, the deep seek model, right? It's just making knowledge cheaper, and that flywheel is going to keep happening. So we've turned one of the scarcest things, something that you and I have made our careers from, which is our knowledge is valuable, to it's all going to zero over time. So it is a enormous disruption it's a civilization level disruption to how things work. Doesn't mean it's the end of civilization. It just means we've got a very fast, biggest change we've ever had in humanity. We will not be the apex intelligence within 2 years, 1 year. Okay, what does that mean? Well, we don't know. But I've been following this journey for a long time, and I've gone down further rabbit holes of, I also think somewhere this thing it's alive. I think it's sentient. Is it conscious or sentience? Depends how you term these things. But there is something going on here that is much larger than we yet understand. And it's even, and it's too long for this conversation, it's a conversation for you and I for a glass of wine, that we are starting to move towards that this is part of universal consciousness, which is something that we have seen religion talk about, that Hindu Vedas through to all religions, through to everybody with who have been the forefronts of psychedelics, through to physics, trying to figure out, okay, something much bigger is happening. So what a time to be alive. Yeah. So this is what I'm looking at. We're going to go to Mars. And Elon is not talking about taking humans to Mars. He's talking about taking consciousness to Mars. Yeah. Okay. These are, this is purposefully worded. Yeah. We are going to change human longevity to what we don't know. We're going to be able to cure diseases at scale of which have evaded us for all of humanity. And we're going to replace physical labor with robots in infinite numbers. So we're going to have infinite human knowledge, but better. Infinite human labor, but better. That leads to weird economic outcomes, because if you think of GDP growth equaling population growth plus productivity growth plus debt growth really finished, apart from servicing of debts, it really finished back in 2008. And we've been stuck with an aging population slowing global growth. Well, this is all about to decouple in ways that we don't understand. What does infinite growth of humans mean in GDP numbers? Who does it accrue to? What happens, right? I don't know. All I know is we've probably got about 5 years before things get really weird. And so I'm focused on this period more than anything about what it means for us. What do we need to do to navigate this, whilst trying to also monitor these gigantic trends that are happening all at the same time.
It is the opinion of Raoul Pal that once artificial general intelligence, AGI, reaches a critical threshold, its progression will be so rapid that traditional businesses and financial markets will be unable to keep up with it. It is inevitable that legacy models, which are dependent on human-driven decision-making, will fail, while companies powered by artificial intelligence will emerge as the chief contender. Pal cautions that this shift will not take place over the course of decades. Rather, it may take place in the blink of an eye. When it comes to artificial general intelligence, AGI, businesses that adopt it early will experience explosive growth, while those that wait risk being completely eradicated. The gap that exists between those who support artificial general intelligence, AGI, and those who continue to oppose it will reshape economies, resulting in enormous winners and devastating losers. In addition to affecting individual companies, artificial general intelligence will have a profound impact on global finance, labor markets, and even the very idea of value. In a world where artificial intelligence is the driving force behind the future, investors, governments, and businesses will be forced to undergo a process of adaptation. It is no longer a question of whether or not this will occur. Rather, the question here is who will be left standing when it does.
So within 5 years, once you've gone through this AGI barrier, which will happen this year, or it's already happened, and we start moving towards a super intelligence, what do we do, right? We're investors. We're educators. Our knowledge, I don't know, in 5 years' time. What are financial markets when you've got a super brain operating within them investing? What is a business when I can look at your great 42 macro platform, or you can look at my Real Vision platform, and we can just say to our AI, hey, just copy this. And also, do you mind doing it in Hindi? Because I think it's a big market in India, and it's seconds. So what is a business? What is a moat? The moat, yes, is you and I as humans. But all of these other things, we don't know what this means. Capital formation, we're seeing it in meme coins, right? Trump, and again, forget who and how, that was $75 billion of capital formation in half a day.
Yeah.
Right. It's showing us how when you get the crowd to form capital behind an idea that they like, they can form monstrous amounts of capital.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got instant capital formation. We've got almost instantaneous birth, death, destruction cycle of businesses. We're seeing infinite human knowledge at zero cost, competing with us and each other. We've got the infinite robots, and that's all within 5 years. The economic system is not going to be something that we really, truly understand. That doesn't mean it can't be good or anything else. What it means is you and me as individuals, I think, and everybody watching this, I would say, listen, how do you navigate the most unprecedented change humanity will ever go through? Simply is be as safe and secure as you can be. And so I think 5 years, this 5 years is the time to ultra focus on getting as many lifestyle chips. And that, money accesses your lifestyle chips, but lifestyle chips means a roof over your head. It means the ability to make decisions and have some economic freedoms. So you can observe the creative destruction of the exponential age without feeling threatened by it. So it's a very serious message. It also plays into the other message that I use a lot, which is how to unfuck your future. Because if you go to the average 30-year-old, they can't afford a house. They're starting to think about having kids, or the millennials at 35 are having kids. They don't know how they're going to afford that. Asset prices, because of debasement, keep going up in value versus income.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't have the same abilities as I did, or more extreme, my parents did, or your parents did. So they're looking at this thinking, am I going to be able to participate in an economy like this and have Maslow's hierarchy of needs met? Am I going to have a roof over my head? And so unfucking your future is taking advantage of what are two massive secular trends playing out in front of us and saying, these will get me there because they actually go up in value faster than the debasement. It's playing into the two biggest trends we've ever had, which is the trend of technology and another technology, which is cryptocurrency, blockchain. Right? Blockchain currently is the fastest adoption of any technology the world's ever seen, and it's been the best performing asset class in all recorded history. It still does like 100% plus returns, just Bitcoin alone. That's la land for regular investors. Yes, it comes with volatility. So that's how to unfuck your future plays into this economic singularity moment, this 5 year period that I talk so much about. In fact, there is a whole video on my YouTube channel about this. So anybody who's interested, just go to Raoul Pal the Journeyman, and you'll see, I think it's the pin video, or the most popular videos, all this, and it's really important.
Artificial General Intelligence, AGI, will rapidly increase in power and drop costs to almost zero over the next 6 years, bringing an unprecedented number of knowledge workers to industries. Traditional markets will be left behind in a world where companies can be created and shut down in an instant. Pal believes that almost all of the market value will be captured by AI-driven financial models, making antiquated business and investment strategies obsolete. He is placing a lot of bets on cryptocurrency because of this. With a current valuation of $2 trillion, the digital asset market is expected to reach $100 trillion by 2030, providing a final chance to accumulate significant wealth before artificial intelligence, AGI, completely changes the landscape. Pal exhorts everyone to amass as much wealth as they can before the world changes beyond recognition. Those who wait too long will unavoidably be left behind, and this opportunity might not come around again. Before we go, be sure to sign up for my daily 5-minute crypto newsletter if you want to be informed about everything that's going on in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world. Over 50,000 subscribers rely on it as a succinct source of up-to-date, expert predictions, breaking news, and top-chain analysis for informative cryptocurrency investment information. Don't pass up the opportunity to remain informed in this quickly changing market. The description below contains the link. I sincerely hope that everyone found today's video entertaining and useful. As always, I wish you luck on your upcoming journey, and we'll see you in the next one.